Hey everyone, I wanted to go over the differences between the standard factory Lego Optimus Prime versus the one on the right, which I had done a few mods on. I'm going to go over, a detailed comparison and maybe even do some side-by-side like split screen and later on in the video so you can really get a better idea. But this is just a general just look at both side by side. I plan to have one in truck form displayed and the other I'm going to leave in robot form, which is why I purchased two. But I really wanted to do a few of the mods because I like some of the mods out there. Just to, show you briefly, the head on this one eliminates the gap in the eyes. Let's see if I can focus on that. And that is by SleepyCow over on Rebrickable.com. It maintains the same proportions like width-wise, and I guess aside from like one plate below the eyes, the height is generally the same. And the back, which I will show you later on in the video, has some plates to smooth it out versus studs on the factory model. The other thing here, as you can see, are the blue windows. These are dark blue, transparent windows. Versus the smoke colored on the default factory from Lego. And if I zoom out here, you can see the differences between the two belts. Now the one on the right is the thin version. I believe there's one on Rebrickable, but then another user came and modified it. I will put a link in the description of any information I have and the user's name who came up with both of the mods to be able to rotate the belt, which I will show you. This is nice if you just want to be able to transform it without swapping any plates. There are a few extra, little details there. It's not as smooth or streamlined as the factory one, but you get the benefit of being able to transform without removing a plate and adding a plate. Where this one here, as you know, if you have this model, you have to remove this plate here and replace it with the one with the other sticker. So here, let's park this here on the tripod. And we lift this up, and you just flip that around, and there you go. So, like I said, the only difference though, you do have this little piece showing here, and the hooks showing on both sides. It's not quite as smooth as this one, and this one is a little thinner at the waist. Doesn't quite extend out past the wheels here, where this one, as you can see, it does extend to the edge of the wheels on the hips. Not as triangular or angled like with these square bricks here, but these are needed to hold it together on the other side, so you can't really use a different kind of tile that would sharpen that edge a little bit. You have to go with the squares. I might be able to play around with something, I'll have to see, but this is the general look. The other thing is you do have to modify, which I will show you here. Let me get this tripod down a little bit here so we can take a better look. With this one here, you just have to use two 1x4 smooth tiles. It doesn't have the little holder here or the piece at the bottom as the stock model. You actually have to make this flush to do this mod for the belt, so it sits flat against here because the belt hangs slightly lower than the one from Lego. So here, let's go over and take a look, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here's the factory from Lego model. We lift this up. It doesn't. This one hangs a little higher. It doesn't hang quite as low, but as you can see, there's like a little. Let's get a better lighting here. It has that little ledge, I guess you could say, to catch the bottom of the belt and that little textured brick piece there. But what you have to do is you have to remove those parts and just you remove the two pieces here that hook it, this textured brick, and even these 1x4 modified tiles, because they have studs on either end. You have to remove all that and replace them with two 1x4 dark blue smooth tiles that just make the whole thing flush straight down if you're going to go with this mod here. So let's get some better lighting so you can see the difference. So you would have to do it for that mod. So it's up to you. I guess, what do you think is the better looking belt piece. Is it worth it to have the more streamlined, smooth, tiled look here, like on the factory model, but you do have to swap the plate if you want to switch the decal or switch it into truck mode? Or would you rather just have it all in one? Yes, you have a few more pieces showing, like the ball joint here, these attachment points, but you can just, like I said, just turn this up, flip it around, and there you go. I mean, it's that easy. So you have to ask yourself, is it worth the trade-off? So let's back up so you can take a look side by side, just to get an idea. And do you like the blue windows over the factory smoke windows? Let's turn that here so you can get a better look. Personally, I like the blue. In the cartoon, it always had a bluish tint, just because I believe, like I said in the previous video, it's a reflection of the sky. I guess that's why they made them blue. They were going for that look. But you tend to always see it in blue, unless you're going by like the original toy, the G1 toy. In that case, it was more the smoke colored. I think the blue just adds that, just makes it pop a little bit more. I like the color. I like the contrast of the red with the blue like that. I think it just visually makes it look a little more appealing. That's my opinion. Both are nice though. You can't go wrong with either one. And here, I'm gonna pause the video, restart it, and we'll take a closer look at the heads. All right, so here is the head by SleepyCow. So let's turn this all the way around so you can see. This does not interfere with the transformation. I believe one of the YouTubers said that if you use this mod, you won't be able to transform it. That is not true. I don't know if maybe they didn't turn the head around when they tried to do it, but you can absolutely transform this, no issues. But here's the other difference. The SleepyCow head from Rebrickable has this smooth tile on the back, which makes it look nicer in my opinion, overall. And like I said, you lose the gap between the eyes. And all the other details are the same, like on the side of the head, the width of the head, the general height, maybe except for that one little plate here on the face. That's it. So you get to use all the same parts. You do have to order a few extra parts, but you still use all the parts from the original build as well. But you will need a few other parts. Check it out on rebrickable.com. I'll put a link in the description. SleepyCow Optimus Prime head. I highly recommend that one. If it's one mod you're going to do, I think that's at the top of the list. And here's the default, as you can see, with that extra plate height below the eyes. So, and this is, like I said, is the factory default head. So, and many of you are aware by Lego, you should flip these plates here on the legs. This is the correct way. The instructions will show it the opposite. You want this larger detailed part of the sticker on the higher part. I think that was just an oversight by Lego. So there you have it. Let me know what you think. I will show you both of these in truck form too, so you can see the difference in the belts and just how it looks in truck form. Here is another mod I want to show you. Here is the factory model. See these two wedge plates right here sticking out a little bit on either side? It was one of the Lego YouTubers, I guess one of the popular ones, that suggested removing those. I definitely agree. You can still pose the legs if you spread them apart a little more, but if you try to pull these back while these are here and the legs are not quite far enough apart, it will start popping parts off the model. It's not worth it. That doesn't add anything. It's not even really accurate to the cartoon. It's just not needed. I get what Lego was trying to go for, to try to fill up just a few more gaps, but you have gaps here anyway. So that doesn't really matter. Now let me show you the modded version. The modded version, we remove those wedge plates. You will need a few pieces here because this is like tiled, angled, and smoothed out. This is not like an official Rebrickable mod or anything like that. But you will need some of these, like, I think I have some slopes here. These like slope down. Or they're kind of like these unusual corner bricks. Let me see if I can pull some out to show you. And like, here's a 1x4 tile. Here's another like little wedge plate. This is actually very accurate to the cartoon. If you pause the G1 cartoon and take a look at the rear section, it is narrow and like smooth and angled like that. So if anything, the modded version looks extremely accurate to the cartoon. You don't really need these wedge plates on the default with these studs showing here. So this is another mod I highly recommend this one. The head first, the head by SleepyCow, which is excellent and can still transform and uses all the printed parts. So I highly recommend that. This is another really easy mod. You will need a few extra pieces though to do this, but it is worth it. You don't have to worry about the model falling apart when you transform it, and it still keeps the look of the original show. Oh yeah, let me just show you side by side. So there you go. This is the part I'm talking about here. I forget what the name of these are. But you will need 2 of these in dark blue, as well as a 2 by 2 dark blue tile. So you need 2 of these, a single dark blue 2 by 2 tile, and I believe this is a, zoom in here, a dark blue, lost focus, zoom out, there we go, a dark blue wedge, kind of just like that smooth tiled wedge. You see a lot of these in like the castle sets at the top of the walls, like those little 2 by 1 dark blue wedges. Well, they have them in gray obviously for the castles, but it's one of those there. And I believe that's it. You may also need a 2 by 3 plate underneath, so dark blue plate. But take a look at the model. You can kind of guess, and see how it goes together with those parts based on the original. It's a simple mod. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact. That's just how I did it, and that's how I saw on looking at pictures. I didn't even need a part list. I kind of just saw how they had it in the pictures and figured it out. So there you go. And here are both models side by side. The left being factory from Lego, the right the modified version. On the one on the right, I rotated the belt so you can see what the other side looks like. Let's get a closer look. So this is what you would see with the modified version, the one where you can rotate the belt piece without swapping the plate. And here is the factory from Lego. As you can see, the factory from Lego is a little nicer. It does fit a little better, a little smoother, a little slimmer, but you do have to swap the plate. So that is a decision you will have to make. Do you want the modded version where you can just flip it, rotate it, or do you want the factory where you just switch out the plates? Not a big deal either way, so depends on what you want to do. I do still recommend the blue glass though. I like the dark blue transparent windows. I think that does add to the look versus the dark smoke. So the dark smoke on the left from Lego does look more like the original G1 toy. If you're going for the more like the cartoon look from the original Transformers cartoon, you may want to go with the blue. But personal preference, but here you can at least get a good side-by-side comparison. And here's the rear view. As you can see, no difference. The modified head on Rebrickable by SleepyCow is fully transformable. No difference to the original. You can transform it exactly the same, tucks in exactly the same. So just a matter of, do you want to remove the gap from the eyes, below the eyes, and have a tiled, like smooth back part of the head, or not? So left is the factory default, right is the modified version. But no difference. Nothing changed for this part. And here I will do a split screen side by side just to get a general overall look. So this is the factory default one on the left. And on the right you will see the modified version. Like I said, with the head by SleepyCow, the dark blue windows, the rotatable belt piece which includes the plate on both sides, and I flipped the leg tiles, but anyone can do that. So